Bargaining is based in the belief that the loss is wrong and must therefore be made right. That's according to psychology today. And how it relates to our topic for this week, which is when to decide when to move on. It summarizes a lot of the things that I found out and a lot of the things we want to talk about moving on. I think the hardest part in a breakup isn't the breakup itself, it is the time when you have to adjust and transition to a life without that person. This is Lee, still decapitating breakups, and this conversation is now open. I think I needed more from my outline today. But anyway, as you can see, if you're watching the video, I'm recording in the morning because I just really want to know um, if I can record in the morning, if my microphone would pick up anything from the outside world. But it looks like it's not picking up anything. So if you want to pick up a new pair of headphones, I would really recommend the Steel series, any of their headphones. It's really comfortable, good with noise cancellation. And if you still heard that truck, I guess it was just a really loud truck. Anyway, it has nothing to do with our discussion for today. So, the quote that I used in my introduction, the whole article is actually geared towards more about permanent losses, like if you lost someone to dying and um, you feel that it's unfair, that kind of loss. Well, some of it, some may really be unfair. Like if somebody gets murdered, of course that's unfair, and there's always that need to call justice. But we're not talking about that kind of loss here. We're talking about the loss of a breakup, and we also go through the same feeling in the aftermath of your breakup, that we feel that that loss is unfair to us because of the so many reasons that we have, and the so many investments that we made in the relationship and maybe in the person himself. And so we feel this need to have some sort of justice when breakup is coming in. Now, there are a lot of things that happen to us in a breakup that we don't really understand, or we just know how they feel, but we don't really have a name for it, or we only know that we feel them when we are in a breakup. Now, let me tell you that there are people who are comfortable in the pain, and that they would rather stay there for quite some time because they know how to harness that particular pain. To give you an example, you have your artists. I remember in one of Adele's interview a long time ago, I can't remember which one, and I can't remember exactly how she said it, but the context of what she said was like she can write songs better or sing songs better when she's experiencing a great deal of loss or pain, and that drives her to her maximum creativity. It usually happens. A lot of writers, painters, poets, songwriters, they would create their best songs or their best writings, their best paintings when they are experiencing a great deal of emotion. I'm not just gonna say pain, but some of us are more comfortable in going through different big emotions than the rest of us. And they're lucky because they know how to harness it without even literally acknowledging that they know, but they know how to harness it. Some of us would would deal with this pain in a totally different way, and it can make us spiral down. It can make us better, it can make us worse. It all depends on how we decide. And honestly, I will tell you now, and I know that this would hurt, especially if you're going through a breakup right now. In a breakup, there's no other person anymore. There's just you. Whether you like it or not, there's no more relationship and there's no more other person. It's just you. Whatever the other person needs to do, I'm sorry, but it's none of your business. Believe it or not, it was also hard for me to realize that it's none of my business. And if you told me that while I was in a breakup situation, I would get really mad at you. And I would say this, if you're going through a breakup right now, before you go any further into this podcast, go process your feelings first. Maybe this is not yet the time for you to learn about moving on after a breakup. Maybe this is the best time for you to process your emotions. So there are a lot of things that you can do. No, you're going to tell me I'm not a poet, I'm not a writer, I'm not an artist. It doesn't matter. I know that some of us would resort to going to our friends. When you go to your friends, pick out the one who would just listen to you and not the one who would give you advices. At this moment, you don't need an advice. Let me tell you that. At this moment that you're experiencing breakup, you don't need an advice. What you need is someone to listen to you and tell you, I have your back. We may not be necessarily going through this together, but I'm going to listen to you. You can tell me what you want to tell me. Tell me, how did that make you feel? Tell me, why are you angry? And I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to listen. And if you're looking how to be a better friend or a better sister or a better anyone to somebody who's going through that kind of experience, that's how you become the better one. You don't start projecting things that had failed you to them. Like, before we broke up and this is what happened to me. We have a lot of friends who would just hijack our emotions as we tell them that. And I have a share of that. No, I did not lose them. I think I'm still friends with a lot of them. But you're not me. So if you're like me, you're not gonna. It doesn't matter. You can just dismiss them. But if you're not the type who can dismiss, because yeah, I'm easily influenced, but I can also dismiss things easily, especially if it already happened once. I get burned quickly. And if you're not that type of person, well, be more selective in choosing the person who you want to voice this out to. That's a good way of processing. If you can find someone who would just sit there, listen to you, help you validate the things that you feel, help you or tell you or acknowledge that what you're going through right now is exactly what you should go through right now, per feelings, per emotions, and then things that happened weren't fair, and that these are my they can share with you the observations that they had when you were in a relationship, not for a minus or plus points in whatever you're feeling. It's just really mere fact stating and observation. If you can find someone like that, great. Open to that person, tell them what you feel about this breakup. That's a really, really good way to process your feelings. But hey, listen, if you can't get that kind of person, that's fine. You don't have to despair. You don't have to feel bad. Oh, I don't have that friend, who can listen. Pick up your phone, turn on your voice recording, and start talking. Just start talking. Say anything. It doesn't matter whether you have pauses, grammatical errors. Just talk from the heart. Speak from your heart. And then after a few days after you do that, listen to yourself. And you will be the one validating your own feelings. Like you would know whether I should feel it or not, or is it something that I should continue thinking about or not. And it would also help you stop obsessing over certain things. You will get more control with the way that you feel and with the things that you think about. Do that. Now, if you're not a voice person, go ahead, grab a pen and paper, write, or turn on your laptop, get your notepad, type. Either way, you're giving yourself the chance to get all of these emotions out, all of these thoughts out. Now, why does your head ache when you're stressed or when you're thinking too much? Because thoughts, they generate electrical pulses in your brain. And of course, if you have a lot of thoughts going in and out, the electrical pulses will be like fireworks in your brain. So I'm just thinking that there would be some nodes who would be used more than the others, and that's what give you that migraine or that really bad headache when you're experiencing stress when you're thinking. So go ahead, do that. Or I do something really weird. I would write it on my wall on Facebook, and then after I wrote it all out, I delete it, or I post it and then I delete it. Whoever saw it, whoever was reading it, okay, fine. But if they didn't get to read it, it's also fine. It's just me. It's sort of like tricking my brain that I was able to get it out. So now you have to stop thinking about this kind of thing. So I hope that helps you. But this portion, you just really have to process it. And then once you're done with that, go back to this podcast and let's keep talking about when do you decide to move on. Now, not only is injustice coming into play when we talk about breakup, but it's also a hard pill to swallow that if a person doesn't love you back, it's not a crime. And that's their option, that's their decision. And when you break things up, again, they're separating themselves from you. So at this point, there is no relationship, romantic relationship that is anymore. There's no other person. Just you. Let's be clear with that. Whether you want to stay in this pain or in this feeling, that is up to you. Now, the decision to move on, nobody can answer that for you. Nobody can tell you it has been 5 years. Move on. Let go. I don't think that's fair that we give people their time frame. We all have our time frames. And as I said, I think breakup is a very personal thing. It's a very personal experience to go through. We all have our timelines, and my timeline might not fit yours. If I can function normally, if I can do things normally, if it doesn't affect my psyche, and if I'm not sad about it, what's the point in deciding to move on? See, this is why I'm telling you that advices are not yet for you at this time. Because they will add weird things to your brain. In a breakup, a lot of people initially are okay. But the more people that would talk to them, the more that your brain gets a lot of different information to process, and things are happening so fast that your brain just can't cope. It can't make sense. Like, oh, your friends would start telling you that I don't like this person anyway, or your family said, oh, we all know that you're not gonna last. These are the things that you have to avoid from other people when you're in a breakup and when you're trying to decide whether to move on or not. Moving on, letting go, does not mean that you have to forget the person. or the experiences or the things that you went through. Moving on and letting go doesn't mean invalidating whatever you're feeling right now. Whatever you're feeling right now, you're sad, you're angry, you're desperate, put that all in. You want to stalk, you want to do a lot of different things. Those are all valid because it's a loss. You're trying to pick up whatever is left from that lost. And right now, all you have really are printed pictures or digital pictures that you have posted. If they give you some kind of comfort, who am I to tell you not to look at them? Or who am I to tell you to completely delete them? Or can anybody tell you that? Really? If it gives you some kind of comfort, some kind of peace and calm, why would I want to take that from you as a friend? Or as a sister? Or as a cousin? I don't know. But the point is, why would anyone want to take that away from you? So, what's wrong in keeping a picture? Because it's not good for your mental health? Because you'd still remember that person? But letting go does not mean forgetting. I don't know if you have seen the TV series Manifest. So I've just finished watching it. A friend recommended it to me, and then I found it really, really interesting. Now there are some good twists and some not, but you know how observant I am when I watch these kinds of things, and I pick up things that might help me along the way and leave things that wouldn't, because that's how you learn. In one of the episodes, the youngest stone, Carl, asked his mom, Grace, if by throwing his things out, if she was erasing them. Now, if you don't know the story of Manifest, it's about a group of plane passengers who were presumed dead for 5 years, but then still landed in the New York airport, and they were trying to live their lives. You know, for them it was just 5 years ago. For them was just yesterday, but the people around them, would say it has been 5 years or it has really been 5 years. You can watch the series and find out for yourself. So Cal was one of the passengers, and his mom was not. And in that 5 years, of course, Grace, the mom, tried to move on and let go of his husband and her husband and her kid. And one of the ways that she did was to throw or to remove their things out. And in one of the episode, Kyle was like asking his mom, "So, are you erasing us?" Right? Letting go does not mean to erase a person from your life or forgetting that person. I wish when I was younger, somebody had told me that breakup is a normal thing. That breakup happens, not just in romantic relationships. Sometimes, even with companies, they break up. I'll get you one: Squaresoft and Enix. They're in an they're in a push-pull kind of relationship, if you ask me. Sometimes it's Squaresoft, sometimes it's Square Enix, sometimes it's Enix. I don't know. And then they work with other companies. But the thing is, it doesn't only happen in romantic relationships. It happens to a lot of the things that we experience breaking up. And letting go doesn't mean that forgetting the other person or erasing the person in your memory. No, it doesn't mean like that. I would say letting go is more of unlearning. Unlearning, as per Cambridge dictionaries, to make an effort to forget your usual way of doing something so that you can learn new and sometimes better way of doing things. Letting go is more of unlearning. Unlearning that this person has always been at your side. And unlearning means stepping out of your comfort zone. In this case, you have no choice because you're already out of your comfort zone, because your comfort zone had left you. And that's totally okay. If there are finances to settle, put it on the finances category. Don't mix it with the relationship that you have. And you're probably going to tell me it's easier to say that than to do it. Actually, it isn't. If your intention is pure. See? That's where things would differ. What's your intention of bringing that up? Was your intention also to hurt and retaliate? Or was your intention just really to straighten up whatever finances you need to straighten up with this person? It's always the intention. If there is something that they still have to do for you, are you bringing this up because they really need to do that for you? Or are you bringing this up to hurt them? I know it's sort of bringing it to justice. And that's why that article from Psychology Today resonated so much. Even if what we're experiencing is, I would say, a temporary loss. Because the person's alive, they're just not going to be in your life anymore. So it's up to you to decide whether to let go, to move on now and let go. Nobody can tell you when the right time is. You would feel that for you. Letting go is accepting your reality right now. It is accepting that the relationship has ended. It is accepting that it made you feel a lot of uncomfortable things. It made you look at things that you thought weren't possible. It letting go is validating how you feel. You feel sad because this person is not going to be in your life anymore. You feel bad. You feel angry because you have done so much for this person and it feels like it didn't matter. It feels unfair for whatever reason. Sure. But it's also a part of life. The other day I was watching Unexplained by William Shatner, and one of the episodes about the cult made me remember the poem If by Rudyard Kipling. And there's one line there that I can share with you right now that would help you make sense of these things. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. Letting go is to know that state of happy and sad are the same in the context of time. They are temporary. They are both fleeting. You're not gonna stay in this feeling for the longest time. And you will be the one to decide. And that's your choice. You're in control of that. You're gonna be the one to decide whether I'm walking away from this feeling now or whether I'm still staying here. If deleting somebody else's picture or phone number or whatnot helps to control your brain, your urges to talk to this person, good, do it. Again, because unlearning still needs effort to do. And you have to unlearn not to depend on that person anymore, on anything. Now, dependency is different altogether from codependency. Okay? And maybe we'll get to that later on, but probably not this season. But yeah, it's not codependency. When I say dependency, there's a kind of memory, I forgot what you call it, but you can look it up in the internet. There's a kind of memory wherein you share this memory with another person. Like, for example, I don't bother. Let's say when I was a kid, or yeah, let's do this with your parents. Like your parents, they don't bother to learn most about the electronics in your home because they know that you're there and you would remember them. So it's sort of like an external memory that they've created. They remember that you know. They don't expect that you know, but they remember that you know, and so they it's as good as them knowing how to do it. So in a very tight relationship, those things can happen, and that's totally fine. So it could be that they were the ones doing a certain kind of thing, and then now you have to do it, and this is the best time to learn how to do those things. Letting go is understanding, accepting that the other person is not in a relationship with you anymore. They're there, but they're not always going to be there for you anymore. I know it's really sad how you would try to project a life without them. Sure. Especially if that's the only life that you've known for a very long time. But it's not impossible to do. This is the end of a relationship. So I won't say that you should have started the relationship with this or you should have done this. I'm not going to tell you what you could have done to save the relationship. At this point, understand that there is nothing to save. Even if the other person is still showing you that there is like things that you can talk about. It all boils down to intention. Maybe after the breakup, they realize that it's not as easy. They don't want you back. They just want to know that you're there. And you don't want to be put up in a shelf. I guess that's where the self respect comes in. You're not gonna go on a shelf. That a person would just pick you up whenever they want to do that. You don't stop loving them. I don't think you do. If you really fell in love, you don't stop loving them. You just don't think about them. You just learned how to live your own life. You just love yourself more. But sure, you still love them. You still feel the emotion. When they call on you, you'd be happy to help them. And that's totally okay. If you want to be friends with this person, be friends but no benefits. Not to punish them, but because that's how it should be. Because you are still unlearning the life that you had with them. And you're relearning a life with you. I would really say that it's important that when you're in a relationship, you don't lose yourself. And ever since my marriage broke, that's the whole goal. Did I wish that I knew that when I was younger? I don't think so, because I would not know any better if I hadn't gone through the things that I had gone through. So now that's the goal. I don't want to be in a shelf. You're not going to pick me up whenever you feel like picking me up. No. When you break up, we both now decide that we're going to live separate lives. If we want to be friends, we can be friends, but no special benefits, because that's how friends are. If you want the benefits, then we should go back to the table and talk about it. But we also have to take in consideration if we're both ready to talk about it. Let's not force each other. And at this moment, the only thing that we can do is be very honest with each other. I know that I would still feel bad if you don't want to talk to me, probably. I know that at this point I would still get angry. It's unfair that he doesn't want to talk to me or she doesn't want to talk to me. And that's totally fine. And if you're not fine with that, I'm talking to the other person, by the way. If you're not fine with that, there must be something wrong with you. If you don't want me getting angry with you after the breakup, then you should be checking your own mental state. Because all of the feelings that I am feeling right now, they're all valid. And if you're happy about the breakup, if I'm mad about that, that's fine. I'm not wishing that you would be sad. I just feel it's unfair. But you know what? This is not this is not permanent. It's temporary. It will change. And there will come a time that I know I will decide that I will let you go. Oh geez. I felt like I just did a monologue right there and I felt like I was talking to someone. Um yeah, but it's not. Okay. Just to wrap things up. See, when you want to learn about things, learn about them at your happiest and not while you're experiencing the pain because your defenses are just really going to go up. It's your brain is not going to process that. And if you hear anything that might stress you out, it will lead to your stress and it will give you a headache. So please try not to do that. Try not to beat yourself up. You're already going through a lot. So give yourself some time to process everything. Stop and just talk, sing songs, dance, move, or anything. Not to fill in the gap, but to release the feelings that you are feeling. So tell me, when is the best time to move on? Tell me, have you decided to move on? I will let my outro do the rest for me. And thank you so much for staying with me today. And I hope that it had helped you, that this conversation had helped you. The conversations that we have are always going to be open. So feel free to let me know what you think and how you feel. Thank you so much. I'll see you. Stay safe. Hey, stranger. This isn't a one way conversation. So join me and let me know what you think. Send me an email at linotegami@gmail.com. That's linotegami@gmail.com. Let's be updated with each other's lives and follow each other on Instagram. Look for at Lilith Star or LILITHSTR. Let me know if you like our discussions and if you like the show. So please do leave a rating on your favorite streaming for this show. I'd love to hear from you in any way. Stranger, thank you so much for listening. Please keep healthy and see you on the next episode. My name is Lee, and this is Decapitated Thoughts.